Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, like always, I would like to say, call Haloyim, like Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. That is to give all praises and glory to the one who the world calls God, Hebrew name being Yahweh, through his Son, who the world calls Jesus, Hebrew name being Yahweh Shah, through the Holy Spirit. I also would like to give double honors to the elder apostles of the nation of Israel, the men of great millstone, and I would like to say, Shalom, Waparakim, Labakayim, Shah, Yashala. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, sincerely waiting and enduring until the return of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach to deliver us out of this last captivity. Um, this video probably gonna get blocked, and it's gonna piss me the fuck off because that means I ain't gonna say I'm wasting my time, but Esau's a fucking devil with this damn YouTube, and he don't like us exposing his Holocaust. But anyways, I'm gonna title this "The Real Jews and the Holocaust," and I'm really gonna deal with the Southern Kingdom, which is you so-called Negroes, uh, Jamaicans, okay, and Haitians, but you so-called Mexicans, Hispanics, Latinos, Native American Indians, y'all are the Northern Kingdom, okay? Y'all represent the 10 tribes of the nation of Israel. You two are also Israelites, but basically, man, America and the Israeli state, they want us to believe that this Holocaust proves that the people in the land of Israel today, saying that they are the chosen of the Most High, are actually Jews. But as we always bring out, to be a Jew means you come from the tribe of Judah. But let's just read some of what this says on Wikipedia. Um, it says the Holocaust, uh, part of World War II. First and foremost, let's deal with that World War II. Ever since you so-called white people came into power over here in America, okay, you've been involved in things called world wars, okay? Why? Because you're destructive, okay? You bring no peace to the earth, you just bring destruction. But it says it's a genocide of European Jews. First and foremost, what is a fucking European Jew? Okay, you Europeans come from the Caucasus Mountains, okay? Hence the name Caucasian. There's no such thing as a European Jew. To come from a Jew means you come from the tribe of Judah. That's the head tribe of the nation of Israel. That's why y'all calling yourselves Jewish. I mean, it's foolish because when you read the scriptures, the people of the Most High, the people of God, they always refer to them as Israelites. Okay, but let's see where y'all came from. Let's see where these European Jews came from. Let's see where you Europeans came from. Let's Google Mount Seir, Mount Petra, and see what comes. Look at this. This is where y'all came from, man. And hence the structure. The structure is still the same. It has the same type of infrastructure as you would see in Washington D.C. or the Roman Republic. With the same type of that same type of look. Anyways, let's go back to this Wikipedia here. Genocide of European Jews. For one, there's no such thing as a European Jew. But anyways, it says the date this occurred was from 1941 to 1945. Now, dealing with that date is very hilarious because you're telling me for 4 years, you guys experienced enough pain for y'all to be the chosen of the Most High. Don't you realize the first major slavery of the Hebrew Israelites lasted 400 years, maybe a little over 400 years in Egypt? And not to mention, when you read in the book of Judges, the nation of Israel experienced many captivities in the book of Judges, okay, that lasted well over 4 years, each one, okay. Um, they would get thrown into captivity, then they would pray to the Most High Yahweh, then they would be delivered, then they would sin again, then they would get thrown into captivity for sinning again, you know, and the cycle would continue. But here it is, you're telling me that for 4 years you experience so much pain and anguish. Hey, the Most High, whenever He put His people into slavery, and which you people didn't even go to slavery. This is just what you claim you were tortured and brutalized. You wasn't even in slavery, okay? But whenever the Most High threw His people into slavery, okay, it was well over 4 years. um, let me get let me get this timeline, and I'm gonna get into the scriptures, but I just want to bring out some of this stuff because it's very important when these people try to say that the Holocaust proves that they're the chosen. Uh, so let's deal with some of the slaveries the Israelites went into after the Book of Judges. We know the Assyrians conquered the northern kingdom, okay, which is you Latin tribes, and you Native American Indians, and then you came over here to America to start over. But then the Babylonians came, okay. Then Cyrus, the king of Persia, took down the king of Babylon, but he allowed our people to, keep their customs to an extent. Um, then the Greeks came and took down the Persians, okay. And then during the Greek reign, a lot of Hellenization was put on our people, the Israelites. They were forced to become Greeks, mainly under Antiochus Epiphanes. But after Alexander the Great died, his kingdom got split into four generals: Seleucus, Ptolemy, Cassander, and Lysimachus. Um, but it basically, I'm bringing this information out because during all these captivities, whether it was the Persian captivity, Babylonian captivity, the Greek captivity, our people were in captivity well over 4 years. We're talking about hundreds of years, okay, in each one of these captivities. Um, damn near. And after the Greeks, you get the Roman Empire, which the Jews were the southern kingdom, the three tribes, which was known as Judea, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. They were in captivity under the Roman Empire. And you still had some of the northern kingdom, the remnants of the northern kingdom. But after the Assyrian captivity, the northern kingdom came over here to America. So during the time of the one you call Jesus, Hebrew name being Yahweh Shai, um, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, they were the main tribes in during the Roman captivity. But hence that captivity lasted well over 4 years. Okay, it's just a joke when you read about how they describe this thing. Um, it says deaths 6 million Jews, around 6 million Jews, and we're gonna touch on that number right real quick right now because it wasn't no damn 6 million Jews that died, um, Jewish people that died. But even if it was, which I'm gonna get into that a little later too, even if it was 6 million Jews, it doesn't compare to what happened to our people. It doesn't even come close. Okay, it fails in comparison, man. Let's get this site is called myjewishlearning.com, and it's understanding the arguments of people who don't believe of people who don't believe in the Holocaust. It says let's see where I want to get. It says who's counting, meaning who's coming up with these numbers. It says one of the most frequent challenges posed by the Holocaust deniers is calling into question the 6 million figure. Various deniers claim the actual number is only a million or a few 100,000, and I would go with maybe in the thousand range, okay, to be exact, because you can't trust anything these Israelis say, okay, because they're not Jews. They were set up in 1940 by the Balfour Declaration, okay, 1947, 1948 by the Balfour Declaration of Great Britain, which also proves they're not the people of the Most High because there's nowhere in the scriptures the Lord says Great Britain is going to put you in that land and America is going to be your greatest ally. That's not in the scriptures, man. But It says Holocaust denier proponents point to the World Almanac for proof. The 1940 edition listed the world's Jewish population at a little over 15 million. So the population, the world's population of you so-called European Jews, you Israelis, you Jewish people, um, was a little over 15 million. So you're telling me that 6 million died over there in the fucking Germany? Get the fuck out of here, man. Um, but yet here it is, your numbers have increased, and you run everything over here in the world today. Um, but let me continue to read a little bit on it. It says by the 1949 edition, deniers assert that that figure is listed as once again a little over 15 million. How could 6 million, over one third of all Jews in the world, be murdered and the population increase? Yeah. Um, let me see, because it was something else I wanted to get up over here. Yeah, let me read this paragraph. It says another argument stems from the change to a co- commem- 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 commemorative plaque at Auschwitz. Until 1994, the plaque read 4 million people suffered and died here at the hands of the Nazi murderers between the years 1940 and 1945. In 1991, that plaque was replaced with a new one that listed only 1.5 million victims, a majority of them Jews. So they kept changing the number. They brought it all the way down to 1.5 million, which shows you the line. Okay, deniers quickly pointed to the revision as proof that the numbers were inflated. It says, yeah. So basically they kept changing the number, man, because it wasn't no damn 6 million Jews. But even if there was 6 million Jews, so-called Jews, that went through that period of the Holocaust. Let's deal with the so-called Negroes, okay, Haitians and Jamaicans. Let's deal with the transatlantic slave trade, and let's see the period of the transatlantic slave trade, okay, and let's get let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, uh, Deuteronomy chapter 28, and let's get some of these curses because we all should know by now about the curses that were said that was going to be put over the Hebrew Israelites for not obeying the first covenant, the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High that Moses brought down from Mount Sinai. Okay, uh, let's read Deuteronomy 28:68 because it deals with the transatlantic slave trade. It says, "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spoke unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again." When did and I touched on how the first Egypt was, 400 years, or some say a little over 400 years. When did y'all go into Egypt again with ships? When did y'all go into any slavery with ships, man? Okay, the Holocaust is not dealing with y'all going into slavery with ships, and plus it only lasted 4 years, man. Are you serious? Hey, let me read some of this. It says, transatlantic slave trade, segment of global slave trade that transported between 10 million and 12 million enslaved Africans across the Atlantic Ocean to the Americas from the 16th to the 19th century. So we're dealing with a period of centuries here. While you're complaining about 4 years of being thrown in gas chambers and whatever the fuck you say happened to you, we're dealing with a period of from the 16th century to the 19th century. People were being shipped on slaves. I mean, were being shipped on ships to be slaves, to be brought here as slaves, man. Okay, and we're not fucking Africans. Just because you live in Africa doesn't make you African. That's not a nationality. Africa is a landmass in which that land wasn't even called Africa. Okay, it was called the land of Ham because that's where the Hamites dwelt, the Canaanite nations that the Israelites always warred with. You know, Um, it was the second of three stages of the so-called triangular trade in which arms, textiles, and wine were shipped from Europe to Africa. Now, hence it said they were they were sold for wine. Hey, doesn't the scripture say that? Let me see. So, yeah, okay. So we're gonna get Joel chapter 3 because that deals with the whole transatlantic slave trade. Hey, it says verse 3. This is Joel chapter 3 verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. So our people were sold for wine. Isn't that what that just said here? Where were your people sold for wine and fucking sold on what were your people sold on auctioning blocks? What did they cast lots for the Israeli people? Okay, this whole Holocaust thing is a joke when you really get into it. And I didn't even prepare anything. I just, as you can see, I mean I got some tabs up, but really I'm just going with the spirit, man. I'm not I didn't if I really prepared like an in-depth study of this, that's why Esau, the so-called white man, he always bans any video, blocks any video dealing with coming against the Holocaust and these fake Jews. But I'm gonna read a little bit more, and then in Joel chapter 3 it says, "Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine?" Now Tyre and Zidon are those were the Greek names of the Canaanite shipping ports, okay, where the ships would come in and do trade. So that's how we know that those Hamites, who people call Africans, that's why they say Africans sold Africans into slavery. The Hamites had a hand in giving us to the Arabs and the so-called white men, the Europeans, which that's why I say something called a European Jew. I mean, you motherfuckers are the ones, you Europeans are the ones that fucking enslaved us. How can you then say that you're Jews? People are crazy, man. And it says, in all the coast of Palestine, that's where you get the Arabs from. Um, will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? It says, because you have taken my silver and my gold and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians. And there you go, you so-called white people. So all you guys were the culprits. You Hamites, you Ishmaelites, and you Edomites. Okay, you so-called white people, you Arabs, and what you would call Africans. That didn't happen. That what we just read in Joel chapter 3 did not happen to you Israelis. Where did the Africans, the Arabs, and the Grecians um, come together to enslave y'all? And then we're only dealing with a period of 4 years. It's not even enough time to even get into anything with this. You know what I'm saying? That's weak compared to what happened to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Um, Let me go back to a little bit on this slave trade because and another time people like to say, well, people call us Africans, but the first Negro slave came from Spain, man. You know, the Spain and the Portuguese were dealing first with slaves because a lot of our people came from Spain anyways because during the Moors, where dark-skinned people were ruling Europe, we had a lot of our people living in Spain, man. Um, but yeah, this article goes on to say how we were sold to the Europeans. How the hell are we going to be sold to Europeans and yet the Europeans are calling themselves Jews? I mean, it's just it's laughable. Um, so now we have the period of the transatlantic slave trade from the 16th century to the 19th century. Now let's see what happened in the late 19th century, after we were so-called set free from slavery, you had a period of Jim Crow laws put on mainly on Southern Kingdom, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But it also affected Northern Kingdom, you Hispanic tribes, you Latin tribes, because the anything that happened to the head tribe, Judah, um, the so-called Negroes happens if it happens to the rest of the tribes, man. But it says Jim Crow laws were state and local laws that enforce racial segregation in the southern United States. All were enacted in the late 19th century and early 20th century by white, let's call them what they are, Edomites, Europeans, Caucasians, by white Democratic dominated state legislators after the Reconstruction period. Which that's funny because now our people, so-called Negroes, they vote Democratic, but here it is, the Democrats fucking force segregation upon you. But anyways, so after that long, those centuries from 16th century to 19th century of being shipped on ships like cargo, like sardines, okay, okay, over here to the Americas to serve slavery. After that was through, we get the Jim Crow era where we're still getting lynched, hung, burnt, burnt alive. Um, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, you can't drink out the same water fountain. Can't sit nowhere near a so-called white person on the same bus. Can't go to their schools. And let me just pull up some of these images. Let's say Negroes during Jim Crow. And that's what we always tell our people to use these phones to learn, not to be fucking watching people twerk and fucking, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, yeah, look at this shit. This is in the 1900s, man. This is in, 1950s, 19. Look at this. Southern whites are the Negroes' best friends, but no integration. Look at this shit. People marching. You know what I'm saying? This is centuries of oppression our people have to deal with over here. But yeah, you want us to cry about your four years over there being oppressed by your own people, because Germans, Russians, Europeans, whatever you want to call them, all of y'all so-called white people, all of y'all Edomites according to the Bible. And for one, to say that y'all are Jews, don't you know the Jews are dark-skinned people? Doesn't the scriptures tell you that Moses, when he stuck his hand into his cloak, his hand became leprous, white as snow? Hmm? Doesn't the book of Job tell you that tribe of Judah is black unto the ground? Mm, let me get hold on. Let me get Hebrews. I believe I want to get Hebrews. Bear with me 1 second. Let's get Hebrews 7 and 14. This is Hebrews chapter 7, verse 14. It says, "For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood." So the one you call Jesus came from the tribe of Judah. Let's see. And to be a Jew means you come from the tribe of Judah. Let's see what color the Jews are. This is Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. It says, "Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is going up." Why are they black unto the ground? Because man came from the ground. Scriptures tell you that. And when you look at the soil of the earth, it's different shades of dark brown, from a light brown to dark, damn near black. Okay, so the Jews are dark skinned people. They don't look like me. Let me get it. Let me see if I can pull an image up of you damn Israelis. Oh shit, this is too funny. Yeah, here you go. Look at these Israelis. Are they black into the ground, or do they look like the same devils that oppressed our people over here in America. Stop it, man. Look at these motherfuckers, man. They're devils. They came from the caves, just like all the rest of you so-called white people. Anyways, let me Google Jews own. Let me see what comes up. Jews own everything. Uh, because we know that y'all own the media. We know that y'all own. Oh, matter of fact, look at this. This says This says in medieval Europe, popular wisdom commonly blamed outbreaks of disease on Jews, poisoning wells, such attitude as da, 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 da. This is the point I want. It says in the governing authorities forcing Jews to live in segregated areas of cities called ghettos. That's another thing. Um, they try to say ghettos are where Jews live, but you look at these Jewish people today, they live in gated communities, very nice areas. Like I said, they own Hollywood, they own the media, they own, you know what I'm saying, all the central banks. You know, you can research that on your own. I'm not gonna dig into all that. But I got the term ghetto here, and this is in the Webster dictionary, Merriam-Webster dictionary. It says a quarter of a city in which Jews were formerly required to live. And I don't care where you are, whether you're in Europe today, whether you're in America, you can drive to any ghetto and you're going to see who's living there. And it's not so-called white people. Okay? The majority of them are so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Period. So that's another proof proving who the people of the Lord are. Let me see if it was anything else I wanted on this article. Like I said, I mean, I'm just, going through the spirit. I just wanted to touch on this definition of the Wikipedia of the Holocaust because you're telling us to fucking cry about 4 years, but here there's our people for centuries having getting lynched, hung, burnt alive, families raped, wives raped. You know what I'm saying? We've been poisoned. Everything under the sun, man. Uh, let's go. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 28. Let's read some of these curses because y'all don't fit the curse of going into slavery on ships. Okay, y'all damn sure don't fit that one. Um, it says, hold on, verse 30, Deuteronomy 28, verse 30. Thy, uh, thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. And that happened on plantation slavery where our women used to get raped by the slave master. Uh, verse 32, it says, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. That happened on the auctioning blocks. Okay, when they would separate the families, they would sell the son to one plantation owner, sell the daughter to another plantation owner, sell the wife to another plantation owner, and sell the father to another plantation owner. Um, verse 37. I'm just reading some of the curses because y'all don't fit any of these curses, man. It says, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. Yeah, Negro, colored, Afro American, African American, Black, Mexican, Native American, Colombian, Dominican, just names that are not nationalities, names that were put on us by our oppressors and our captives. Our captors, okay. Y'all have y'all nationality. Y'all are calling yourselves Jewish. Really, y'all ain't Jewish. Y'all Edomites. Y'all come from the tribe of Amalek. You know. Verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. And that goes into our people having to depend on so-called white man and the rest of these nations wherever they've been driven captive because our people don't own anything. We don't have our own country. We don't dictate world laws. We don't dictate world currencies. Okay, that's why it's foolish for our people to celebrate Independence Day, which today is so-called Independence Day, but yet you're dependent upon the so-called white man. You're not independent in anything. Okay, so yeah, you people don't fit the curses. Oh, And this proves who has the Israelites in slavery right now. Deuteronomy 28 verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. And what nation of people use the eagle as their emblem? Hey, let's Google that. American eagle. Matter of fact, let's do the Roman eagle first. Let's do the Roman eagle. Let's do the Roman eagle. Look at this. The Roman images of the Roman eagle. And when the Romans used to go to war, they would have their long staff. They would march in the war. Yeah, look at this. Look, and that eagle, that's a proud creature because it flies very high. And no one's more proud than the so-called white man. Look at it. Yeah, this is what they were marching to battle with, the Romans, with that eagle. You know. Now let's Google the American eagle. Everybody knows the damn eagle represents America. You know, but that just shows you who has the Israelites in captivity. You damn devils, man. Look at this shit. Look at this shit, man. The American flag with the eagle up there. Look at that. That's you so-called white people. That's the Bible exposing you so-called white people. So let's read that verse again. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. So show us the nation that uses the eagle as their emblem that came against you, Israelis. Anyways, and once again, I'm gonna keep reiterating the point that we're dealing with only 4 years here, comparing to the centuries of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans being fucking basically damn near killed off and by you so-called white people, the same people that's claiming their heritage. Okay, because you Jewish people finance the slave trade any damn way. But anyways, I'm gonna get a I'm gonna go to Isaiah chapter 2 and wrap it up because here it is in 1948. Matter of fact, let me Google the Balfour Declaration real quick. Here it is in 1947, 1948. You Israelis was given that you were made the Israeli state. You were given that land, but how the hell in 1940 are you giving something when the world is still at war? The world is still at war. Racial tensions are at an all-time high. And you're telling me the Lord's bringing his people back in his land by Balfour Declaration? Come on, man. Uh, it's really just stupid. It says the Balfour Declaration was a public statement issued by the British government in 1917 during World War One, announcing support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. So here it is. The Balfour Declaration is nothing but a document of a so-called white man giving the land of Israel to more so-called white people. It says the Balfour Declaration contained with the original letter from Balfour to Rothschild. Oh, and isn't that a coincidence? The Rothschilds are the one that you know carry this thing through, which we know the Rothschilds are the most wicked people on the face of the planet. They run the central banks. They're the reason why the world is always at war, and they want to bring their new world order to fruition, man. Uh, so here it is. You was supposed to be given that land by a fucking Balfour Declaration. But ever since you've been in that land, it's been nothing but war in the Middle East. It's been nothing but chaos all over the world. And the scriptures tell us what's going to happen when the Lord brings his people back into that land. Let's get Isaiah chapter 2 and then we're going to wrap it up. It's Isaiah chapter 2 verse 1. The word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow into it. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up into the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the Most High of Jacob. And he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. So if you're the Lord's chosen people and you've finally been put back in that land, Why aren't the Palestinians, the Chinese, the Russians, the Syrians, okay, why are all nations going to Israel to learn your ways, you know, and have you teach them? You got nations trying to bomb the shit out of you right now, man. And you need America to be your ally. Get the fuck out of here. The only ally the nation of Israel needs is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the Most High, and His Son. It says verse 4, and he shall judge among the nations, and he shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. So these other nations are supposed to be basically in slavery under these Israelis if they're the Lord's chosen people, and they supposed to not learn war anymore. But here it is, you have war at an all-time high, rumors of wars at an all-time high. Iran not giving a fuck about you fake Jews. So you're not the Lord's chosen people, man. Okay, you know it's just straight to the point. I just wanted to touch on the Wikipedia definition of the Holocaust because it's a joke. You know, a genocide of European Jews. What the hell is a European Jew? For 4 years. And even if we did give you that fabricated number of 6 million, it doesn't compare to what happened to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. So with that, I hope the elect was edified. To the next video, I say shalom.